Hey, welcome back. Here's another video for MBA 610, Research Methods at Humboldt State University. It's part of our MBA course in Strategic Sustainability. We're still working in Chapter 2 on the Section 2.4, Creating Distributions from Data. That's in the Cam Cochran textbook. And what we're doing now is some relative frequency and percent frequency distributions. In our last video, we created this frequency distribution where we calculated how many of a set of 50 sales were for Coke, Diet Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and Sprite. And we got to where we saw that Coke was the most popular with 19, followed by Pepsi. Then Diet Coke and Dr. Pepper each tied with 5. But sometimes something that's a little bit more useful than just a frequency is to know what the percent frequency is. Well, what percent of people bought Coke? What percent of people bought Dr. Pepper? Because then if we're stocking vending machines, we can say, all right, we're going to order 800 cans of soda. What percent should be from each of these different makes of soda? So to do that, we're going to add 2 additional columns. You can do this in one column, and I typically do, but I'm following what the book does so that you can see that, and then I'll show you how a quick adjustment, how I would have done it, left up to my own devices. But we've got 2 columns. We've got relative frequency, which is basically like saying what percent, right? What fraction, what proportion of the sodas that were sold fall into each of these bins or each of these categories. And then we're going to turn it into a percent frequency. And you would have to think about that in a percent. We've got to take care of our formatting. And to do that, I'm just going to use this wrap text function. And I've got to center it. Makes me feel so much better if it's centered. Oh, and it needs that line. I can do that, pardon me, while I just take care of my formatting. We've gone over a line, so I'm going to use the merge across. And now it looks like I think that it should. Okay, so relative frequency is going to give us the decimal, the frequency. What is 19 out of 50? So relative frequency is just defined as the frequency of the data point or of the observation. Coke has 19 sales divided by the number of observations in the data, which is represented by this number n here of 50. So we're going to say that our relative frequency of Coke is just 19 divided by 50. And because I want to drag down this formula and I don't want that 50 to shift, I'm going to use a command T there. It would be F4 if you're on a PC. And it's going to say 0.38. That's my relative frequency. We can think of that as 38%. I would typically format this as a percent and add 1 decimal and call myself done. But I'm going to follow the outline shown by the textbook, which does this in 2 stages. First, we calculate the relative frequency by taking the frequency divided by the number of observations. And then in the next column, we multiply that relative frequency by 100 to get the number as a percent, 38%. We can highlight both of these and double click it to drag down. And this gives us some more information, right? Now we can see that if we're going to order a whole lot of sodas, we're going to be looking for about 38% Coke, about 16% Diet Coke, 26% Pepsi, 10% Dr. Pepper, and 10% Sprite. So that's the usefulness of the percent frequency distribution. It takes something that we've gone from this table of values to giving ourselves kind of an estimate of our percentage sales from a variety of categories. And so that's one of the beauties of a frequency distribution is it takes something that's not very useful and turns it into something that you can tell a story off of and make actionable decisions from. All right, enjoy, happy calculating, and I'll see you in the next video.